Hello, everybody. Sorry about the technical difficulties there. Hello, Summer. Just going to wait for everybody to get in here. So while you are waiting, just make sure you smash that like and make sure you have live chat selected at the top of your screen so you don't miss anything. And happy March 1st, everybody. Hopefully spring is on its way. So what we have today, you guys, just yesterday, they released the application for the search warrant for Bryan Kohberger's parents' home. They've also included in here everything that they took from there, what they found in there, etc., what they were looking for. So this is going to give us a lot more information as to maybe certain things they were looking for and why. But it's all here, so we're going to go through it. There's a bunch of pages we're going to skip because it's just a repeat of the arrest warrant affidavit. We've all gone through that. There are parts of it that there's, I think, one or two that I want to touch on because there's a lot of false information out there as to who was found where and who was found in what bedroom and all this stuff. So there is one point there that I do want to make because it's quite clear in this document where Zena was found. So good morning, Gray Lear, Debbie Johnson, Nana. Good morning, Nana. Courtney, Crime Curious. Good morning, everybody. Please smash that like on your way in so we can get going. It helps get us out there in the algorithm. Thank you, Summer Dawn. So I'm going to get it up on the screen and we'll wait for a few minutes to get everybody in, just so we don't have to keep repeating things over and over, you guys. Ada Jeannie, hello and welcome. Okay. My StreamYard is way ahead of my YouTube studio, so. Okay, so I got this up. Okay, let me just check one other thing, you guys, here. All right. Okay, so let's go over this, you guys. This was just released yesterday. This is the search warrant and the application for the search warrant on Bryan Kohberger's parents' house. You can see here, it's kind of hard to see, but it says the 29th day of December. Let me just make this a little thinner. It was on the 29th of December. So this is from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Monroe County. These are the two state troopers that were there. It says here, identify items to be searched for and seized, be as specific as possible. And they say any and all items listed on the continuation page. So we're going to get to that continuation page, you guys, and you're going to see exactly what they were looking for. Actually, no, they did. He went back to his parents' house. I believe it was around the 16th or 19th. And there's going to be other information in here where they were surveying him. So he was under surveillance, and they do that for a reason, you guys. because they want to see where he's going, if he's going certain places or dumpsters where maybe disposing of stuff like that. So they had him under surveillance for a few days before they actually got the warrant. And don't forget, when he left, I don't think they knew at that point it was him. It's when the information came in, and then they found out where he was going and everything else, that he'd been stopped and all that stuff. So that's why they had him under surveillance in Pennsylvania. And like I said, we're going to see all of that in this document. Crowdsourced intelligence. My new job, crime curious. Got hired by PI to work on cold cases. Cool. Okay, so specific description of the premises and or persons to be searched right here. I don't know if you guys can see my pointer. 119 Lansdowne Drive, Chestnut Hill Township, Monroe County, a single-family residence with white siding, tan foundation, and dark-colored shutters. An attached garage is located on side B. A small shed with a door and windows is located at the rear of the property, along with the curtilage of the property. Name of owner, occupant, or possessor of said premises to be searched: Michael Kohberger, Marianne Kohberger, Bryan C. Kohberger. So this would be his dad, his mom, and him. Now, apparently his sister was living there too. There's my sister. Good morning, sister. So they put the dates of the violations here, which is the date of the homicides and then the date of the search warrant. Warrant application approved by district attorney. And then they sign it. Search warrant. Whereas facts have been sworn to or affirmed before me by written affidavits attached hereto, from which I have found probable cause, I do authorize you to search the premises or persons described. Oh, so even his parents were to be searched. Okay, because they put the names here of who they want searched. And they're saying here, I do hereby authorize you, it says right here, to search the premises or person described, which is his parents also, and to seize, secure, inventory, and make return according to the Pennsylvania Rules of Criminal Procedure. This warrant shall be served as soon as practicable and may be served any time during the day or night, but in no event later than 4:35 p.m. on the 31st of December. And this warrant shall be returned to Judicial Officer Margarita Patty Worthington. And she has signed it all here. For good cause stated in the affidavit, the search warrant affidavit are sealed for 60 days by my certification. So this was sealed for 60 days. So that's why we're only getting it now. So that would be like, it was the end of December, so all of January, all of February. So that's why it was just released. So the return of service and inventory from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Monroe County. There's no docket number yet, as you can see by here. And they want this returned by the January 9th. The FBI also participated in the search, as did troopers. Property seized as a result of a search, and you can see here, yes. This is the time they went in at 1:30 in the morning. Now, these pages here, you guys, we're just going to jump through this. You can rewatch it later. This will be going private, just to let you guys know, for a bit once the live ends. That's for it to be able to upload to YouTube and for me to get the descriptions and everything in there. So it will be gone private for about 15 to 20 minutes, but it will be back up for everybody to see. So just give it some time once the live ends. If you do want to read through this, this is just the instructions on the search warrant, the approval, person to serve, contents. This is just actually how they are supposed to do it. This is about returning things back, return of inventory. You're not missing anything there, but if you do want to read it, you can pause it later and go back and read it. But it's just basically instructions on how to carry out the warrant. Okay, so the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania receipt of inventory. Still no docket number yet. There is an incident number. This, again, here's the date, the time of the search and the date. The following property was taken, seized, and a copy of this receipt inventory with a copy of the search warrant and affidavit was personally served on Bryan Kohberger. So this here would be where they would generally put what they have taken, but there was just too much, so they have attached a Schedule A by the FBI. So it's going to be FD 597. We're going to get to that. So here's all the troopers and FBI agents and everything signing off on this, that, you know, they completed what they set out to do. So let me just see here. Move this over a bit here. Okay, so United States Department of Justice, the Federal Bureau of Investigation receipt for property. Collected. Who they collected it from is here. The address is here. Okay, so the description of items. 1, Defiant silver flashlight. Now, these flashlights, you guys, are usually used in tactical. The FBI, a lot of search and rescue, people like that, use these flashlights because they are awesome. Okay, they're very bright. They can go for long distances. They're just an overall go-to flashlight for law enforcement, for, you know, anybody that does any kind of search and rescue, stuff like that. This is the go-to flashlight. So and they're not cheap. And he had one of these. Okay. 4, medical style gloves. Now, I'm interesting about these is because I'd like to know if they were the black ones, the same as the black ones that were that one black glove that was found outside of 1122 King Road. I wonder if they are the same glove, type of glove. So 2 pairs were found. There's 4, so 2 pairs. A white Arizona Jean Company large t-shirt. This person's writing is very hard to understand. So Champion WSH Cougars, I believe that says. Washington Cougars, maybe. Large black sweatshirt. A pair of black and white size 13 Nike shoes. A pair of black Under Armour socks. I believe that is there. Under Armour black large shorts. Under Armour black boxers large. 1 swab. Okay, so this is going to be them swabbing his mouth for DNA. And they put nothing follows. So this is what they took from the residence. There's going to be more information down here. And they just do this, you guys, so nothing else can be added to this. Bryan Kohberger. Isn't that very nice writing at all? Because he signed this and then printed his name. It looks like a 2nd grader. Sorry, but this is him printing his name. It doesn't look like he's very good. I do believe, Summer Dawn, that let me just get that up on screen here. I do believe that they can, especially if they have the box. There's certain ways that they can test gloves, believe it or not. And you see this a lot with in cases where they've got, like, say, a trash bag. If they find those same trash bags at a suspect's place, and they can match those to say that they visually look the same, what they do is they can take one that is known to be owned by Bryan Kohberger and the one that was found, and they can do testing on each of those gloves to see if they're the exact same. Even though, like, when you buy something, it's mass produced. So sometimes, say you buy a box of, for instance, this surgical gloves. If you bought yours in January and then somebody goes and buys the exact same, exact same, but you bought yours in October, there's going to be slight differences because they come from different batches. Okay. So different batches are going to be very specific. Okay. It's impossible to get it 100% the exact. So there might be a little bit more of the black dye in one batch than the other, or a little bit less of this than that. You know what I mean? So if they compare that black glove that was found outside the residence and the black gloves that they find are his, and they came from the same batch, that's not going to be good for Mr. Kohberger. Yeah, they can match off, like duct tape, anything that comes from a continuous roll. So like masking tape, duct tape, painter's tape, clear tape, any kind of item that is on a continuous roll or something like that can always be matched. They can match up what piece came off last compared to the rips and the tears. They match them to the piece that they still have, all the pieces that they've gathered, and they can generally piece that roll right back together as if it was still on the roll and not ripped into pieces yet. It's pretty cool. I've watched a lot of that stuff, and it's pretty cool. So let's hope that they can match that black glove found at 1122 King Street to this glove. Now, they don't say what color it is, because the one found was black. But, okay. So, application for search warrant again. This is the Pennsylvania State Police. The person of Bryan C. Kohberger, date of birth 11/21/94, to include all items listed on the continuation. This again is on the 29th of December. The person of the specific description of the premises and or person to be searched, Bryan Kohberger. Name, owner, occupant, or possessor, Bryan Kohberger. Involved in criminal homicide. This is a warrant application approved by the district attorney again. I believe this one is for the car. Search warrant. Yes, we've already read this in the last search warrant, so I'm not going to reread it. But it says to see, secure, inventory, and make a return. The warrant should be turned. This is basically the same. Okay, so application for search warrant, continuation pages, okay? Items to be right here. And this is what we are looking at, okay? Items to be searched and seized. Any and all of the following which may be found on his person: blood or other bodily fluids or materials, and items with blood or other bodily fluids or materials on, in, or near them, knives, sheaths, other weapons or instrumentalities of injury or death, and sales receipts or documentation from purchases or acquisition of such items, okay? So what they're looking for here is, I think, with the knives, sheaths, other weapons, or instruments that could cause injury or death, the sales receipts for them. They're looking for that sales receipt for that knife that was found. Okay, so let's move on. Documents, records, medications, drugs, or other substances, prescription or otherwise, bottles, labels, syringes, packaging, and other items associated with medications, drugs, or other substances, prescription or otherwise, that could relate to physical or mental states of assailants or victims, or relating to or containing information indicating suggested or otherwise evidencing violence, a physical attack, a fight, a motive, hostility, or any for the same. So what are they looking for here? They are looking for anything like, say, he was bipolar or he had ADHD. They're looking for medications that would show that he has those conditions. Okay, because that could come into, we've seen what's happened with Lori Vallow. She's claiming she's crazy and all this crap. So what they're looking for here is to see if there's anything that would suggest that he suffered from any kind of mental health issue. Also, if there was any illegal drugs. There was something that I seen out there where, hello, Desi Marie, Summer Dawn, hello. There was something somewhere where he had tried to say that he was set up, that, now I don't know, this hasn't been verified by me, you guys, but it is out there. And now that I see this in the search warrant, it kind of makes me think, because he's saying that he met somebody out back for drugs, or to do drugs, or to purchase drugs, or to sell drugs, or whatever he did back there, and that guy's the one that had his knife, and blah, 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 blah. So I would assume this is why they are looking to see if there is any kind of prescription or otherwise kind of drugs that could alter his mental state, stuff like that, or anything that he could have given the victims. Hello, Chatter. Any evidence of a physical attack, a fight, a motive of hostility, or any of the same. That includes anything written. Like, did he have all kinds of books on murdering people and stuff like that? They want all that stuff, okay? Next, this is really interesting. Do you remember, you guys, in my read? In my read, it came out that he took something from, and I still believe it's Kaylee. But Kaylee and Maddie were together. So I'm still leaning towards Kaylee, but it could very well be Madison that was his target. But do you remember in that read, it said that he took something from one of them? And then I see here, if you go back to my very first read, you guys will see in that read, it says he took something from one of the girls. And I believe it was Kaylee. Any property belonging to Ethan, Kaylee, Zana, Madison, Bethany, or Dylan. So are they trying to maybe say here also, well, I'm not going to put words into this. I'm just saying what's on my mind, and I shouldn't do that. I should just stick to what's here. Any property belonging to them. Now, say they had, I don't know, a note, a letter, anything that maybe one of these people had written to him. They're trying to get here anything that he might have taken, or anything he may have had from any of these people in his possession, which would prove whether he actually knew personally any of these listed people or not. Okay, so say at one time, and this is just hypothetical, just say at one time he had been friends with Ethan. You know what I mean? If there's any proof of that, they want it. Okay, and that goes for any of them. I just used Ethan because he's the first one on the list here, but they're looking for any connection to any of these people to him. Okay, documents, records, data, compilations related to 1-1. So anything like that was in the arrest affidavit, I think there's a lot of this too. Any data that shows him in, around King Road, Moscow, Idaho. Any documents or records or data complied that relates to the address, and or Ethan, and or Kaylee, and or Zana, and or Madison, and or Bethany, and or Dylan. Now, this is what I'm saying again. They are looking for any communication between Bryan and any of these people or the address. Clothing, to include but not limited to dark shirts or pants, masks, shoes with a diamond pattern sole. Now we know that this here, there was a footprint left at the scene. DNA footprints, fingerprints, fibers, animal and or human hair, or other physical or trace evidence. Okay, so what they're looking for here is also with the DNA. You can see that they've added in here animal. Did he maybe get any hair fibers from Kaylee's dog onto any clothes or whatever that he has now with him at his residence? Did he get any of their hair or any other kind of physical DNA? Somebody bites you, they leave their DNA on you, okay? So they're looking for any kind of DNA, including footprints, fingerprints, fibers, animal and or hair, other physical or trace evidence, or items bearing these relating or containing information indicating, suggesting or related to a violence, a fight, a mode of hostility, for any of the same. So they're also looking for any maybe fingernail scratch marks on him that could have been put there by one of the victims also, or the dog. But they are looking for any kind of fibers, DNA, animal or human hair that could be on any of his stuff that they collect in Pennsylvania, because there's no reason for any of the victims' DNA, fingerprints, hair, anything to be on his stuff, period. Right? 4 samples of Bryan Kohberger's, I'm not even going to try and say this word, but DNA by buccal swabs taken from the inside of Kohberger's mouth and or whole blood samples, alcoholic beverages, other intoxicants, and any containers or receipts for the same. That's interesting. Data relating to or containing information indicating, suggesting, or related to violent stabbing, a fight, or mode of hostility for any of the same, to include without limitation ledgers, papers, lists, books, notes, letters, calendars, diaries, tapes, photographs, videos, or other media or similar documents or items, computer and communication devices capable of storing electronic data, other electronic storage devices, and media, and access to the contents of the above. So he has to, this is going to come into play in a bit, and wait until you see this. This is interesting. I did not know this, but this is going to come into play because they're asking for the access. That's going to come into play later on. You're going to see why. Now, don't forget here, there was photos of one of the victims found on his phone. So they have not released which one yet, but we do know that Madison and Kaylee and Zaina were both on one of his social media accounts. He had friended them, I think, and he had been sending messages to one of them, and they've also found photos. So they're looking for any kind of data that is going to show him trying to contact them, if he ever did actually speak with any of these people or not. Was he ever not related, but was he ever in contact with any of these victims that are listed up above? So that's why they want all that stuff, you guys. All electronic devices, including all communication content, including email, text, SMS. Hang on a sec, you guys. Sorry about that. Okay, including all text, SMS, MMS, or app chats. There's like, I know there's all kinds of different apps that you can chat on. Applications, a cloud storage, notes, or voicemail, including attachments, source and destination addresses, time and date information, connection logs, images, and any other records, including indicia of use, of ownership, possession, or control of such communication or information found, All location data for the above, which may be stored in GPS locations or cellular tower connection data, including metadata of photos or social networking posts, Wi-Fi logs, and data associated with installed applications, all photographic, video, audio data, and associated metadata, all internet history for the above, including cookies, bookmarks, web search, bookmarks, web history, and search terms, all stored IP addresses associated, all financial information related to the above, all indicia of ownership and control for the data and cellular device, such as device identification and settings data, address book, contacts, social network posts, updates, tags, Wi-Fi network tables, associated wireless devices, Wi-Fi networks or Bluetooth devices, associated connected devices, backup devices, and stored passwords or user dictionaries. Indica of residency or ownership, possession of the vehicle, and any of the above items. Like, they want everything. Everything. Okay, so what was that there? Okay, and you'll notice each of the bottom of the pages, whoever's preparing this has to sign it. And they usually put a line through here so nothing else can be added. Commonwealth of Pennsylvania search warrant again. So any and all items listed on the continuation page. So this is their warrant and authorization to collect these things. It gives the address again, the description of the property. The warrant was approved. I'm just saying that this warrant has to be served by December 31st. Okay, so here's the continuation. Again, items to be searched and seized. So there's more continuation here. Okay, the person of Bryan C. Kohberger. Okay, so searched and he was seized. Sorry, just take some of my coffee there so I'm not hacking and coughing. Blood or other bodily fluids or materials and items with blood or other bodily fluids or materials on, in, or near them. Knives, sheath, documents. Okay, is this just repeating it again? Because we've read all this. We've read this. Yeah, this is just another. Okay, so we got to here. Okay, so all vehicles. So this wasn't listed on the last one. So they have also added all vehicles in which Kohberger has access to, including but not limited to the Hyundai. Okay, so ain't that a bitch if they take his parents' cars in too? They're left there with no vehicle because they're going to take it in to be searched. I don't know if that happened, but I know they did take the Hyundai. But it says all vehicles in which Kohberger had access to, including that Hyundai. And everybody jumps on me for how I say Hyundai. I have a Hyundai Elantra. So that's just how we say it here in Canada. So whatever. Okay, so this is the probable cause. Now, we can read through a little bit of this, you guys, but we are going to skip a lot of these pages because page 10 to 27 in this is just a repeat of the arrest the probable cause affidavit. The beginning of this is not in the original because this is a new trooper that is now out in Pennsylvania. So he says, your affiant is Trooper Justin M. O'Leary of the Pennsylvania State Police, Stroudsburg Station Criminal Investigation Unit since 2009. I've served as a detective with Lackawanna County District Attorney's Office, a special agent with the Pennsylvania Office of the Attorney General, a task force officer with the FBI, and currently as a trooper with Pennsylvania State Police, Troop N Vice Unit. Throughout my career, I've conducted hundreds of criminal investigations, including numerous homicide investigations. Your fan astute trooper, Trooper Bryan V. Nall is the Pennsylvania State Police Troop N Criminal Investigation Assessment Officer. I've been employed with the Pennsylvania State Police since 2008 and assigned a criminal investigator in 2012. I have been assigned as the Criminal Investigation Assessment Officer since 2019. Throughout my career, I've conducted hundreds of criminal investigations, including numerous homicide investigations. Oh, why? Just 1 second, please, guys. Okay, I'm sorry about that, you guys. It seems every time I go live, that dang doorbell has to ring. Okay. So they're just going through who they are, how long they've been troopers or FBI, whatever. So on Wednesday, December 28th, here's where it gets interesting, I think. Yeah, this is some of it here. So on Wednesday, December 28th, the Pennsylvania State Police was requested to assist the Moscow Police Department, Moscow, Idaho, and Federal Bureau of Investigation with a homicide investigation, which occurred on Sunday, November 13th, 2022. As a part of this investigation, we reviewed reports and affidavits prepared by the Moscow Police Department establishing probable cause for issuance of search warrants related to this investigation, which are included in this affidavit of probable cause as Exhibit A. Furthermore, investigators began physical surveillance of the property and area. See, here it is, right here, you guys. Right here. Okay. Investigators began physical surveillance of the property and area of 119 Lambsden Drive, Chestnut Hill Township, and in the early morning hours of Tuesday, December 27th, observed Bryan Kohberger walking near this residence. Additionally, Kohberger's vehicle was observed entering the Indian Mountain Lakes development on December 16th, 2022, and the vehicle is still believed to be on the premises. Investigators are also monitoring Kohberger's cellular phone. Oh, so they tapped his phone, which appears to be in the same vicinity of this residence. On Wednesday, December 28th, while conducting surveillance, investigators observed Kohberger traveling throughout Monroe County and arriving back at his residence on Lambsden Drive. Based upon this, your fans believe that Kohberger is located inside this residence and in possession of items related to this investigation. Your fans are requested a search warrant be issued for the search and seizure of all items listed in the items to be searched, along with forensic processing of all items. You are requested all digital devices cease to be forensically examined in a controlled environment at some future date, and until such examinations are complete. Additionally, based upon the serious and violent nature of these crimes, including risk of the general public safety, you are requesting a nighttime. See, it was requested so they could catch them off guard while they were sleeping. A nighttime search warrant be issued to execute this search warrant at any time, and the affidavit of probable cause be sealed. So that's why they wanted this done at night, everyone, is because they didn't know if he had any other weapons. They didn't know, if he was going to maybe try and maybe off himself. We don't know what he would have tried to do, right? So they wanted to catch him off guard. That's why they are requesting it done at nighttime when they're asleep. So they're taken off guard. So Trooper Justin M. Leary is just swearing to the facts that everything set forth is true and correct to the best of their knowledge. Okay, so here it is here. This is Exhibit A is the actual affidavit. The probable cause affidavit, we've ran through this. This is when the police showed up at the residence of 1122 King Road. Now, there's something here I want to, okay. There's a lot of information out there saying that Ethan was found out in the hallway and Zena was found in the bedroom up against that wall where we see the blood running out the wall on the other side, right? So by the evidence alone, we know that somebody was in the very back part of that bedroom, okay, because of the blood running out along the side of the hall beside the sliding kitchen doors, kind of sort of there, but on the bedroom wall. Now, the door to get in the bedroom is at the other end of the bedroom by the front part of the house. That back wall where the blood was at the back of the house. So we know somebody was at the back of the house there by that wall to bleed out there. And the front of the house is at the other end of the bedroom. So everybody's saying, oh no, it was Ethan that was found out in the hall. And no, it wasn't. I've said it since day one. One of them had to have come back out of that bedroom, maybe to see what was going on, maybe heard something, came out to check it out, and they were caught by Kohberger as he was trying to leave. That's my opinion. Okay, so it shows here. Okay, so this Officer Smith and I entered the King Road residence through the bottom floor door on the north side of the building. I then walked upstairs to the second floor. Officer Smith directed me down the hallway to the west bedroom on the second floor, which I later learned through Zena's driver's license was Zena's room. Just before this room, there was a bathroom door on the south wall of the hallway. As I approached the room, I could see a body later identified as Kernoodles. So it was Zena that was at the door, laying on the floor. She was deceased with wounds appear to have been caused by an edged weapon. Also in the room was a male. So now we know Zena was found at that door. So I do believe it was Zena. I thought at first it was Ethan that came out to see maybe what commotion or whatever was going on. But it looks now like it was Zena that came out to maybe tell the roommates to chill out, calm down, whatever. Good morning, Sammy. She was found in the doorway. We also know by the evidence of the blood coming down the side of the wall outside in the back part, because her front bedroom door to get in her bedroom is at the front of the house. Their bedroom where that blood was is at the back of the house. So we know that's where Ethan was, in that area at the back of that bedroom. Okay, so the bedroom door to get in would be on the right. The bed would be on the left up against probably that wall. And that's what was found. So now we know that it was Ethan that was nearing the back of the house in that bedroom. So I just wanted to bring that up because a lot of people are saying it was the other way around. But obviously by the probable cause affidavit, it shows right here who was where. Also, they were saying that Madison and Kaylee were found in Kaylee's room. They were not. They were found in Maddie's room. And it says that here. Followed Smith upstairs to the third floor of the residence. There's the third floor. The third floor consisted of 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. The bedroom on the west side of the floor was later determined to be Kaylee Gonzalez. There, hereafter Gonzalez. I later learned from a review of Noon's body camera there was a dog in the room. The dog belonged to Kaylee and her ex-boyfriend. Officer Smith then pointed out a small bathroom on the east side. We know that Maddie's bedroom is on the east side of the third floor because she shares a wall with that bathroom. Her bedroom wall and that bathroom wall are one of the same. Bathroom on one side, her bedroom on the other. This bathroom shared a wall with Madison Mogan's bedroom, which was situated on the southeast corner of the third floor. As he entered this bedroom, he's seen the 2 females in the single bed. That's Maddie and Kaylee. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out. We're going to skip through most of this because we've already gone through the arrest affidavit, the probable cause affidavit, whichever one you want to call it. So let's skip right through it. And we're going to If you guys want to see the arrest affidavit, I have a video on that. You can find it under my live tab. We're going to skip to page 27 because this is how long this probable cause affidavit is. So we can get back to what's happening here in Pennsylvania. Okay, so here is, I marked it here. Here's where, now he's read all this probable cause affidavit. Now he's saying, based off the above information, and the above information is the arrest affidavit, the probable cause affidavit, whichever one you want to call it. I'm seeking a search warrant for Kohberger's person and his parents' residence located at 119 Lansdowne Drive, Albert Wrightsville, PA 18210. 119 Lansdowne Drive, Albert, PA is a single-family, two-story residence, white in color. There's a two-car garage located on the west side of the residence. This is a location Kohberger is currently believed to be based off cellular phone data received in previous warrants. Based off information gathered during this investigation, it is believed Kohberger's mother, Mary Ann Kohberger, father Michael Kohberger, and sister Amanda Kohberger currently reside in the residence. In addition, I am seeking a warrant for all outbuildings and sheds located on the property. It is also believed Kohberger's white Hyundai Elantra, suspect vehicle 1, is stored in the two-car garage on the west side of the residence. I wonder why he stored it in the garage. That is interesting. That's interesting. Trying to maybe keep it hidden so people wouldn't, like this got out really quickly. This is a big case, you guys. And it went worldwide pretty quickly. So is that, do you believe, what do you guys think? Do you believe that's why he put it in that garage? What do you guys think? Let me know. What do you guys all think? Okay, so it's stored in the two-car garage on the west side of the residence. Excuse me. Based off the above facts, I'm requesting a search warrant for Kohberger's white 2015 Hyundai Elantra bearing VIN number, and they give the VIN number. I'm surprised that's not blacked out, but for whatever it is found redacted, they usually redact stuff like that. For whenever it is found, the Hyundai Elantra is registered solely to Kohberger. Based on my experience or the experience of investigators trained in forensic technology, I provide the following. Okay, here it is. Do you remember when I said back up there that this is going to come into play when they do finally get his cellular phone and all that, that they also have a warrant for access to that phone? Some of these devices are getting so high tech that there's so many different ways now you can secure your phone so nobody can get into it. They're very hard to crack. So that's why they asked for a warrant for access also, which means they couldn't get into it or wouldn't be able to get into it, and they would need Bryan's cooperation to get into it. Now, there's the ones you got to scan with your fingerprint. There's ones you got to scan with your irises from your eyes, face recognition, stuff like that. I don't know a lot about it, you guys, but I did read through this. I'm still a little confused, but I do understand that to get into this phone, they needed his cooperation. So there was a warrant for that. He was ordered to do it. Many electronic devices, particularly new mobile devices and laptops, offer their users the ability to unlock the device through biometric features in lieu of a numeric or alphanumeric passcode or password. Good morning, Marie. These biometric features include fingerprint scanners, facial recognition features, and irises recognition features. Some devices offer a combination of these biometric features, and the user of such devices can select which features they would like to utilize. Hey, K. Mitch. Like I said, for all you guys coming in now, this will be going private once the live is done, but it will be up. Give it about half an hour or so, and it will be back up. That's just to allow it to upload to YouTube and for me to get all my information and tags and everything in there properly. So it will be back available for everybody. You just got to give it time to upload. Okay. So you can choose if you want to use one of these, two of them, or all of them. If a device is equipped with a fingerprint scanner, a user may enable the ability to unlock the device through his or her fingerprints. For example, Apple offers a feature called Touch ID, which allows a user to register up to 5 fingerprints that can unlock a device. Once a fingerprint is registered, a user can unlock the device by pressing the relevant finger to the device's Touch ID sensor, which is found in the round button, often referred to as the home button, located at the bottom center of the front of the device. The fingerprint sensors found on the device produced by other manufacturers have different names but operate similarly to the Touch ID. Hello, Comptoot. Nice to see you guys all here. If a device is equipped with a facial recognition feature, a user may enable the ability to unlock the device through his or her face. For example, this feature is available on certain Android devices, and it's called Trusted Face. During the Trusted Face registration process, the user holds the device in front of his or her face. The device, oh my gosh, you guys. The device's front-facing camera then analyzes and records data based on the user's facial characteristics. The device can be unlocked if the front-facing camera detects a face with characteristics that match those of the registered face. Oh, not good for twinsies, I'm telling you that. I mean, I don't know. I hear twins. I dated 3 different guys that were each twins. I don't know how that happened, but 3 times in my life I've dated guys that were twins. So yeah, can you imagine your twin brother being able to get into your device and see? Yeah, not good. I wouldn't use that. Facial recognition features found on devices produced by other manufacturers have different names but operate similarly to Trusted Face. If a device is equipped with an iris recognition, which is your eye feature, a user may enable the ability to unlock the device with his or her irises. For example, on certain Microsoft devices, this feature is called Windows Hello. I've never heard of it. During the Windows Hello registration, a user registers his or her irises by holding the device in front of his or her face. The device then directs an infrared light toward the user's face and activates an infrared sensitive camera to record data based on patterns within the user's irises. The device can then be unlocked if the infrared sensitive camera detects the registered irises. Wow, that's the first I've ever heard of that one, you guys. Like, I know about the fingerprint one and the face recognition, even voice recognition on the older devices, but this I've never heard of. That's interesting. Iris recognition features found on devices produced by other manufacturers have different names but operate similarly to Windows Hello. You guys know about the iris one? That's interesting. Users of electronic devices often enable the aforementioned biometric features because they are considered to be a more convenient way to unlock a device than by entering a numeric or alphanumeric passcode or password. That iris one is the oldest one? Really? Shows how far I'm behind in stuff, eh, Comptoot? I'm not good with electronic stuff, you guys, as you could tell. For those of you who were here with me when I first started my channel 2 years ago, it'll be 2 years this June, I think. I couldn't figure out the OBS. Like, I got myself in a lot of trouble with the court and everything because I couldn't figure it out. And I was asking the judge, I was clicking on buttons. I didn't know what I was doing. And apparently I was clicking on buttons to message the judge to make me part of the, oh my God, it was horrible. It was horrible. Anyway, so moreover, in some instances, biometric features are considered to be way more secure way to protect the device's contents. This is particularly true when the user of a device are engaged in criminal activities and thus have a heightened concern about securing the contents of a device. I want mine really secured, because if I ever get pulled in for anything and they check my phone, they're going to think that I am a serial killer. Guarantee you. For what I Google and everything else, oh my God, you guys. As discussed in this affidavit, based on my training and experience, I believe that one or more digital devices will be found during the search. The passcode or password that would unlock the device subject to search under this warrant is not known to law enforcement. Thus, law enforcement personnel may not otherwise be able to access the data contained within the devices, making the use of biometric features necessary to the execution of the search authorized by this warrant. Now, here's another thing I'm going to ask you guys. Oh, Snooks, it was bad. Snooks. Let me see. Hang on. Snooks, it was bad. I was, and everybody in my chat was going, Willow, don't, no, Willow, what are you doing? And the judge, and this was in the Letitia Stout case, okay, you guys? So the judge says, Willow, oh, God, why are you trying to join our hearing? Why do you want to be brought up on screen? I didn't know what to do, you guys. I froze. And you know what I did do? I unplugged my computer because I didn't even know how to get out of any of it. So I just unplugged it, figuring it would disconnect me, which it doesn't, which I found out later it doesn't. Oh my God, you guys. So he booted me out and I was banned. And oh my God, you guys, it was horrible. Struggle was real, believe me. That's why I stick with StreamYards. It's so easy. Not a paid advertisement, you guys. Not being paid by StreamYards, but StreamYards is one of the easiest streaming software things to use. OBS, there's too much that you got to enter, and you got to enter this ID and that ID and this and that and page and screw that. No, it was, Sammy. It was bad. The judge called me out. He stopped the court proceedings and called me out. It was horrible. Get Brave as a browser and DuckDuckGo for browser. Oh, I'm not changing anything right now, Comp2, because I finally got this down packed how to use it. If I stray from this, I'm going to mess up again, and I can't afford to be thrown out of another courtroom or do something that I shouldn't be doing. I'm going to go with what I know. But thank you for that. Okay, so now you guys seem to know a bit. Who is this? Comp2 is saying Iris is the oldest one. Okay. I know on mine sometimes, like if I'm out in the cold shoveling off my car or whatever, and I try to use my fingerprint because I got the fingerprint for my phone. I try to use it and it won't recognize my fingerprint. So I can like push up and then I can enter a 4-digit code. Would they not be able to do that with the face recognition or the iris recognition? If you can't get it to recognize, could you not swipe up and just enter a 4-digit code? I don't know. Maybe some of you guys will know. Well, let me know in the comments. Because I know I got to do that a lot on my phone when I go outside shoveling and everything, and my phone goes off and I try to open it and it won't because my fingers have shrunk in the cold or whatever. I wouldn't take my first computer in Gateway. I had looked at many things. Yeah, it's like scary. It's like, uh-oh. Oh. Snook's the same here. I'm going to be 60 this year, and I'm telling you, once you learn something, you got to just stick with it. All this new, if they change StreamYard, I'm going to be so screwed. Comptooth says the cold will dry out the oil in your hand. Yeah, so what I'm asking Comptooth is, if you have this iris as a passcode, your eyes or face recognition, if you can't get it to recognize your eye or face, can you not still just swipe up and put your 4-digit code in like I do? Yes? Okay. So all they really need is that 4-digit code, right? I wonder if it's 1122. That would be interesting, to find out his 4-digit code. I wonder if it's 1122. Whitney Blagg, hello and welcome. Yeah. You know the saying that you can't teach an old dog new tricks? I'm telling you, it took me a long time to even figure out working with 2 screens. I got 3 screens going now, plus I got my laptop here in front of me going. But it wasn't easy. And now I'm trying to figure out how I can use 2 cameras. I know I got to update my StreamYard to be able to use 2 cameras, because a lot of people are saying, well, we can never see you when I'm doing my reads and everything. All you guys see is my hands and the cards. I want to get another camera set up so you guys can also see me. That's a scary thought. You guys are going to take that back once you have to see my face on a daily. Okay, let's get back to this. I also know from my training and experience, as well as from information found in publicly available materials, including those published by device manufacturers, that biometric features will not unlock a device in some circumstances, even if such features are enabled. This can occur when a device has been restarted inactive or has not been unlocked for a certain period of time. For example, Apple devices cannot be unlocked using Touch ID when 1 more than 48 hours has elapsed since the device was last unlocked, or 2, when the device has not been unlocked using a fingerprint for 8 hours and a passcode or password has not been entered in the last 6 days. That just sounds like a whole lot of problems. Yeah, my roommate here, he doesn't have a cell phone either. He swears off on them. It's like, nope, I don't want one, don't need one. He has a 75-inch TV in his room, and Xbox, the newest PS4, his computer, and he does have a landline. And he just refuses to get a cell phone. So I get you there. Okay, so 8 hours, and the passcode or password has not been entered in the last 6 days. Similarly, certain Android devices cannot be unlocked with Trusted Face if the device has remained inactive for 4 hours. Biometric features from other brands carry similar restrictions. Thus, in the event law enforcement personnel encounter a locked device equipped with biometric features, the opportunity to unlock the device through a biometric feature may exist only for a short time. In my training and experience, the person who is in possession of a device or has the device among his or her belongings at the time the device is found is likely a user of the device. However, in my training and experience, that person may not be the only user of the device whose physical characteristics are among those that will unlock the device via biometric features. And it is also possible that the person in whose possession the device is found is not actually a user of that device at all. What? Okay. I'm confused, but you guys may understand what I just read. Furthermore, in my training and experience, I know that in some cases it may not be possible to know with certainty who is the user of a given device, such as if the device is found in a common area of a premises without any identifying information on the exterior of the device. Thus, it will likely be necessary for law enforcement to have the ability to require any individual who is found at the subject premises and reasonably believed by law enforcement to be a user of the device to unlock the device using biometric features in the same manner as discussed above. Get your damn face over here and open this. That's what they're going to say. Whose phone is this? If nobody says anything, you just hold the phone in front of each of their faces. That's what I would do. Pin that guy down and let's hold this in front of his face. There. Anyway, due to the foregoing, if law enforcement personnel encounter a device that is subject to seizure pursuant to this warrant and may be unlocked using one of the aforementioned biometric features, the warrant I am applying for would permit law enforcement personnel to, 1, press or swipe the fingers, including thumbs, of any individual who is found at the subject premises. Give him damn hand. Put your prints on this phone. Let's see whose it is. There you go. Yeah, so Whitney, from what we had read earlier, you can store up to 5 different fingerprints for print opening on a phone. So you got to scan each one of their little toes. I would even scan, you know what? The best one would be to use your little toes, your little piggies. Little piggies. Use one of your little piggies as a print. They never check your little piggies. Little piggy toes. So what if somebody's used one of their little piggies? 10 little piggies. What if they used one of them? And you test each one of their fingerprints and none of their fingerprints open that phone with fingerprint and it's still saying you need to put your fingerprint. You got to start testing them little piggies. Somebody could have used one of their 10 little piggies. But yeah, they're saying permitting law enforcement personnel to press, swipe the fingers, including thumbs, of any individual. You forgot in here, put little piggies. Somebody could have used one of their 10 little piggies. Who is found at the subject premises and reasonably believed by law enforcement to be a user of the device. To the fingerprint scanner of the device found at the premises. 2, hold the device found at the premises in front of the face to those same individuals and activate the facial recognition feature. And or 3, hold the device found on the premises in front of the face of those same individuals and activate the iris recognition. What if they keep their eyes closed? You got it. You're gonna have to have a few officers there to hold open their eyes, and they're just gonna roll their eyes up. No, you're not getting no, you're not getting in my phone. And to activate the iris recognition feature for the purpose of attempting to unlock the device in order to search the contents as authorized by the warrant. And you see they put this big X through here, which means I'm not saying nothing more on this page. So that is the warrant, you guys. Like, can you imagine being the sister's boyfriend or one of his parents' friends that came from out of town for a visit and happened to be just sleeping nicely in bed? And then bam, all of a sudden the front door crashes open. They're grabbing your phones. They're grabbing you by the back of the head, scanning your face and taking all your fingerprints and little piggies. They didn't do the little piggies, but prints to open these phones and whose is whose and what is what and what do you got and what do you got. I would be pissed. Like, I wouldn't be visiting no more. Not going back to your place. But yeah, so anybody in that house, any individual who's found at the subject premises, so they're not just saying anybody on this warrant, they're saying any individual. So let me read some of this. So more than one user can say they use a certain phone. Yes, if like say they have a phone and they scan one of Bryan's fingerprints and it opens it. They close the phone again. And then they scan, say, his dad's fingerprint and it opens it. Then those two have access to that phone, right? But I don't think Bryan would be sharing a phone with anybody. I do know that they did find on his phone through his social media that was on his phone that he was following Kaylee and Madison and Zaina, and that he had sent DMs to one of the girls. I believe it was either Maddie or Kaylee. I'm still leaning towards Kaylee. And he had pictures of one of them on his phone. So we don't know if those pictures were just taken from their social media accounts and he saved them to his phone. We don't know. Or like we know that he had been stalking them in the weeks leading up to. He was in the same areas as they were when they were in town, when they were at the grocery store, and when they were at the house. So are these pictures that he took of them? If it is pictures he took when he was stalking, taking pictures through the back of that house, that's going to be big. But if they're just pictures that he took off their social media, now, mind you, that's still going to be bad for him, but not as bad as if they found pictures on that phone that were taken when he was stalking the house or watching the house or watching them, right? So can you imagine being a guest at this house and the cops, bam, the front door comes flying open, screaming and hollering, probably flashbangs going on. Like, what the heck? Way out in the middle of bum F Idaho somewhere. Well, bum F Pennsylvania somewhere. You're in the middle of a gated community in the forest. It looks like it's surrounded by forest. And your front door, boom, almost comes off its hinges. And people are screaming to get down and flashbangs go. I would have a heart attack. Yeah, I would have a heart attack. But yeah, so this is the latest that has come out. It was released yesterday, you guys. My daughters can unlock each other's phone and they're 3 years apart. Yeah, if you look very much like a sibling or a friend, that's why I don't use that face recognition, because your fingerprint is the best one. Nobody else will have the same fingerprint as you. I bet. Thinking your phone's all secured and know now that your little sister can unlock and get into all your messages and everything. Oh, I'd be pissed. Good morning, Shadow of Lotus, and welcome. Officer O'Malley of the FBI, and you busted. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting, you guys. This is still a long ways off. Let me just look at we got to get through March, April, May, and June. He's having a preliminary hearing in June 26th. So we still got like he's had January, February, March, April, May, June, 6 months. That's usually you have to have your trial within 6 months of being arraigned, but he's put his preliminary out 6 months. Like he hasn't even been arraigned, I don't think. I don't remember. I've got so many cases in front of me, you guys. Now, also, I want to mention, you guys, Trezell and Jacqueline West, Orrin and Orson West, the two little boys that are gone. If you remember back on my reads of that one too, my original reads had said, look, they didn't go missing when these adopted parents are saying they did. I said, this is when they moved, the end of September. I said end of September, beginning of October, and that's what's come out now. That these boys had been missing for at least 3 months when they were reported missing. So there's a lot of stuff in all of my reads, you guys, that as the charges go through and trial dates approach, a lot of the information that I had in those reads come out, and you get to see how accurate those reads were, right? Do I get it wrong sometimes? Absolutely. But a lot of the times, more than not, as the trial progresses and as everything gets, drugged through the court and everything else, you see actually how accurate those reads actually are. And I say it a lot, even with my mini reads. I don't understand what this means. I'm giving you the information that I'm being given. It's not supposed to make sense to me. It's supposed to make sense to you if I'm doing a read for you. And it's the same as these other reads that I do. It's not supposed to make sense to me. All I can do is put together the information that I'm getting, not only from my ancestors, which I'm being told, which I'm getting intuitively, and what the cards are saying. I get from my ancestors. This is what it means. I put it out there. Hopefully by the end of the read, it all comes together. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, but the information is still there. Just because I may not see it all the time, or it may not make sense to me, it doesn't mean that that information isn't there. Like I could say, well, somebody grabbed this goblet. There's something about a goblet, and they put it above the fireplace. I don't know why I'm being shown that, but I see somebody taking a goblet and putting it above the fireplace. That could actually mean something down the line. Okay, I don't understand it at the time, but I've got to say what I'm getting and what I'm seeing, right? So that's how that works, you guys. And sometimes it does take a long time for that information to be made public and to come out. And it's generally at this time during all the motions hearings, and when it gets to court and the preliminary hearings, when the affidavits come out, that's when you get to see how much of that was smack on. Okay. So even though it doesn't come out in probable cause affidavits and stuff like that, it generally comes out in the court. So have I been wrong a couple times? Yes, I have. But a lot of the information was also smack on. There's sometimes a little bit of the details I get wrong, and that could be because I was either being shown it wrong, or I didn't understand the way it was being shown to me. So yeah, we do make mistakes, you guys. We're not perfect. But anyway, there's a new read I put out yesterday regarding, apparently this guy was a big DJ for Wild, what is it here? Wild 94.9 iHeart Radio in San Francisco. Jeffrey Vandergrift, known as JV. I guess that was his radio host nickname. I did a read on him yesterday. So I will be doing an updated read on that because there was some things I feel like were still being hidden there. So I will be doing an updated read on that. Also, that one just came out yesterday. Don't forget, you guys, all my newer stuff is under the live tab, not under the video tab. It'll all be under the live tab. So click on that if you want my newest stuff. That's from 8 months ago to today and forward. It'll all be under the live tab. If you want to see my older stuff, you can click on the video tab, and that'll show you stuff from 8 months ago, 9 months ago, 10 months ago, and before that, to when I first started the channel, doing this on my channel. So that is that, you guys. I don't know what else I had. I think I had something else I wanted to bring to you guys. I think there's some more information that came out in the Valo Daybell. Now, Valo Daybells, they are back in court tomorrow. So I will be covering that again starting at 11:30. I'm going to get the thumbnail up after I'm done this live. I'll do that while this one is uploading. I'll get the next one for tomorrow, Lori and Chad. They are having the continuation tomorrow. We know that the DNA evidence came back on the testing that was done on the hairs that were found on the duct tape. That duct tape was used to secure the plastic bags around JJ. We know that that evidence is back. We're going to also find out if the judge is going to sever, if he's going to move the court date again. We're going to find out a whole bunch of stuff tomorrow, okay? So if you want to know what's going on there, make sure you're there tomorrow morning. It starts at 11:30, so I'll be live at about 11:15 in the morning. So we can do a little bit of chit-chat and get everybody in the room. So everybody is there to see what is going to happen. And the judge should make some rulings tomorrow. So keep your fingers crossed that they're not severed, that this trial does go ahead April 3rd. Okay? Letitia Stout also. Back in court on March 9th, next Thursday, not tomorrow, the following Thursday, pretrial readiness in front of Judge Werner. Lori and Chad are also supposed to be in court that day, but I don't know what exactly that is, if they're going to clear that date, because they're going to probably make those decisions tomorrow anyway, because that evidence is back now. But they were given till the 13th of March for the deadline for any of their disclosures or motions or whatever they had to do. Letitia's court trial starts this month, March 20th, you guys, and I am going to be covering it. As far as I know, I can stream it all. So I will be bringing that to you guys. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going, well, Willow, what about the reads? You know, I had somebody in my chat just the other day. Well, you're above and beyond ancestor readings. Like, why are you covering these court things? That's not what your channel name says. Well, those who have been with me since the beginning know I cover these right from my very first read. If somebody is arrested, I follow it right through to the end of the trial. Okay? I don't just stop at the read. I cover the whole thing. But what I'm going to do, especially for this Letitia Stout, is I'm going to try and get a bunch of reads done up and set them to be scheduled to be released throughout the weeks. I may even, if there's a break in the case or whatever, or on a weekend, I can still jump on and do reads. If there's one that's really important that needs to be done, like right now, I will do those. I'll still be doing the Sunday mini reads, but this is going to be a Monday to Friday covering the Letitia Stout. And I believe Gannon deserves this. This is out of respect for Gannon. He deserves justice. And we've been there. A lot of you guys still in the room with me right now have been there with me since day one on the Letitia Stout case. So, yes, I follow through right from doing that very first read right through until either she's convicted or she's found not guilty. I do from start to finish. I have over 30 years of legal experience. I worked in the legal field for over 30 years. So you're getting the best of both worlds here. Okay? Somebody told me start a different channel. Well, I just don't have time to do that. I don't have time to run 2 channels. I just don't. So you get everything here. If you don't want to see the court proceeding parts of all of this, that's fine. You don't got to watch them. But I do still do the reads, and I upload the reads. So just like yesterday, I've got a new one that came up yesterday. I'll try and get at least 1 or 2 up every week as I'm covering the Letitia Stott. And I'm still going to be doing the mini reads every Sunday. Okay? So with that being said, if you guys have not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Please give this video a like. There's a heart down below. If you do want to donate to the channel, you can do so there. But most importantly, please subscribe, please like, and please share this out where you can. Thank you to my mods for being here. I hope this brought you guys all a little bit more information. I got a little bit more from this. I know a little bit more now what avenue they're going down here and why they are asking for certain things, and everything's coming together. This guy's goose is cooked. Okay, so thank you, mods, for being here. I appreciate you guys. You guys are the best. Thank you to all you guys. Until the next time, you guys, please stay safe. Take care of yourself. Be aware of your surroundings. I love you guys to the moon and back. And don't forget, this is going to go private for a bit, but it will be up for everybody to see again in about 20 minutes, half an hour's time. Okay? Thanks for watching, you guys. Take care. Bye-bye for now.